Hi guys, I'm Megan Brightwood and this is my third knitting podcast. I am so excited to be doing these. This has been such a long time coming, I feel like, and now that I'm doing them, I have just been so happy with it. So I did go a little bit crazy again over the last couple weeks, and so I'm really excited to show you what I've been working on. I've got probably 3 finished objects. One of them's kind of a finished object. And then 3 whips, and yeah, just a few different things to talk about. But before I get into that, I wanted to just chat with you a little bit about kind of what my life has been like over the past few months. And mostly it's because this has been like the only thing that I've been posting for the last month and a half, maybe. And so I feel like I haven't really just talked to you guys on a personal level. So some of you may know that a while back I had decided that I was going to do the Disney Marathon this January. Well, then after that, I had a bunch of issues with my gallbladder and actually ended up having to have it removed, and then there was something weird with the way my body was set up, so then I got an infection, and it's a whole story. I do have a video on that particular surgery if you want to hear more about that. I'll link it below. But basically it was this whole ordeal, and so my last procedure was on July 21st, where I went under general anesthesia again, and it actually ended up being okay because they didn't find anything abnormal. They were supposed to remove a stent and it had already passed. So we were all good on that. I still had to go in, but you know, everything's good. So yeah, I have started my marathon training this past week and I'm feeling pretty good. The first couple of days I was very sore, but I'm feeling a lot better and my pace has gotten a little faster too. So I think the highest I've gone so far is like 4 miles, and my average pace is like a 10:35, which is not where I used to be, but I did run a half marathon while I was pregnant with Evelyn, and so when I did that, my average was probably like 12-13 minutes per mile, so in the 10s is great. I'm really happy about that. And so I think that I should be able to do the marathon just fine. I've got plenty of time to train yet as far as my body is concerned and all of that. So still on track for that. I am signed up. I don't know that it's actually still available to sign up for the marathon. I know when we signed up, the 5K and 10K were already taken. My husband and my grandma were planning on doing the 5K, but by the time that everybody else had registered, they were completely booked. So those are the only 2 people on my mom's side of the family that aren't doing a race, but yeah, everybody else is doing like a marathon or a half marathon, and I have 5 cousins, a brother, so then there are 7 grandkids, and then pretty much all the aunts and uncles are doing something, and my grandpa is actually doing the half marathon, so lots of running coming up, and so hopefully I'll be able to vlog some of that because I think that that would just be so cool. We'll see. I mean, we've still got several months before that happens, but yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now, and I feel so torn on this because, like I've said, I love my job at the museum, but I am so excited to be a stay-at-home mom too. I had Evelyn all day today and it was just a blast. I loved it, and I think I'm down to like 35 days left if I'm counting right. So while I'm going to enjoy every moment at the museum, I am kind of looking forward to that whole stay-at-home mom sort of vibe. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life. At least as far as I can think of us to where, oh my gosh, that was just a horrible sentence. That's all I can think of for right now. But I was also thinking, if you guys have any questions for me, certainly let me know, and maybe I'll do like a Q&A in one of these or something. Not sure, but if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. So anyway, let's get into the finished objects. So the first one that I wanted to show you was actually already shown in my August Knit Crate unboxing. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it below, leave it in a card, something like that. But it is the Bluebell Shawl by Melinda Bernardi, and yes, this came in my knit crate. Oh my gosh, isn't it pretty? You guys have seen me working on this, and it's all done. It does not go with this outfit at all, but I think it's so pretty. And the yarn itself is really, really nice. It's from the Artisan Yarns Saka Paka in Blueberry, which is a Knit Crate exclusive colorway. But yeah, oh, I love the pattern on this. So here, I wanted to quick show you, because I've shown you guys this shawl before, so you kind of know the whole deal. There are 3 different sections. So there's this stockinette panel, and then there's this really pretty kind of florally lace panel, and then there's this bit of chevron right at the bottom here. And I think we're supposed to block it with little points so that these little lace edges kind of came down a bit. But I'm a little bit newer into blocking, so I just kind of tried to do a straight shot, and I think it turned out fine. I probably should have done the little points, but I don't really care. I liked it the way it turned out. So yeah, that was my first finished object. So I'm calling this a cheat because I kind of put it in last podcast's finished objects, and that's the Lear cardigan by, oh shoot, who's it by? Lisa Richardson. I actually have another, it's like a sweater sort, I don't know what you'd call it, but I have another item by Lisa Richardson in my Ravelry library that's really, really pretty. It's like a houndstoothy sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, so I had this in my finished objects last podcast, but I had not put the buttons on because I couldn't find any that I liked. And then this week I was looking for buttons for another project and found these little kind of like bronzy sort of buttons, and they work perfectly. So there is Evelyn's little cardigan. Oh, I love it so much. And so then with my whole capsule wardrobe idea, where I want to do a handmade capsule wardrobe for myself, my husband, and my daughter, we've almost all got sweaters now. I do have Joe's started, and I'm pretty far on that, so I'll be showing that soon-ish, but oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? I love all the cables on it. Oh, I'm so excited to see her in this, like, once she, you know, fits in it, because it's still a little bit big, but that's okay. Once she does fit into it, I'll put a picture on Instagram so you guys can see it. But yeah, where should I put this? I've got things everywhere here. Then my other finished object is a legit finished object, and this is one of those projects that I'm really glad that I'm doing a podcast, because I'd finished these, like all the knitting and everything, couple Saturdays ago. Like, it was right after I did my last podcast. I hadn't cast them on yet, but it was, you know, right after that, and they knit up very, very quickly, but then they just sat around until today, and I had to finish them before I showed you. So these are the French press felted slippers by Melinda, oh my goodness, Melinda Bernardi. There we go. And they worked up really, really quickly. The felting was so much fun, and here are the buttons that I found. They're kind of a faux leather sort of button, and I just think they turned out really, really cute. I haven't fully decided if I'm done felting these or not. They fit, but they're a little bit loose, so I'm not entirely certain, but I think they're so cute, and I have been wearing them around the house. The one thing that I feel like maybe this is a cheat too, I don't know. The one thing that I am still kind of debating on is that I don't have anything on the soles of these. So when I'm walking like in our kitchen or in this room that has kind of that, it's not wood floor, but it's kind of that same style, I can slip very, very easily. And you know, sometimes that's really fun, but sometimes that's also terrifying. So yeah, these are my slippers. So excited about them. I want to try to make Evelyn some as well, but I'm not really sure the whole ratio as to knitting and felting, so that might not happen, but I really, really love how they turned out, and I just think they're so pretty. I hadn't put this part on until today, and just even without this, they looked really pretty, but now that that last detail's on, really, really like them. So yeah, those are my finished objects. So let's get into whips. I think I want to start with the one that I'd been working on last time I talked to you. So it's down here, I gotta grab. Okay, so the project that I was working on last time that I didn't finish is the bed for Cricut, and it's ginormous. This is in the Lion brand Hometown USA in Chicago Charcoal, and I have not been able to find another skein of this yarn, and that's really all I need at this point. I did decide to do the inner pillow in the same color, so yeah, I was working on that. I have some stuffing in it that's kind of falling out, but yeah, I just need to find one more skein and then I can finish it, because see, that's kind of where we're at on that. I know it's a horrible thing to try and show you, but once it's all done, I'll actually take a little clip of video with Cricut laying it or something. He is right back here, by the way. But yeah, it's turning out really cool. I really, really like it. It's just that it's ginormous and really hard to show you guys just as a whip. So yeah, that's kind of just where it ends up being. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to find more of this yarn and I can finish this up maybe in the next podcast. I sure hope so. I mean, it doesn't take very long. It's just that it's taken a lot more yarn than I thought it was going to. So yeah, there's that. Then, as I'd mentioned, I've been working on a sweater for Joe, and it's the Redford Sweater by Julie Hoover, and I've made a ton of progress on that. I don't have the actual skein of yarn that I'm working with, but it's the Brooklyn Tweed Loft, and let's see, I want to kind of show you in order here. So here is the back of the sweater. Whoops, dropping it. And so it's a really, really dark blue, but it's a tweed. So then you've got like little pops of red and purple and light blue and some white. And it's really, really a cool yarn, especially as it's knit up. I don't know how well it's going to translate, but it's got so many dimensions to it. So this is the back of the sweater here. And then I also have the front done. And that's this piece here. And this one's really cool because it has kind of a mock V-neck sort of detailing to it, where it's got like a triangle of reverse stockinette. I know that there are little eyelets on the outside here. I'm not sure if I want to close those up or not, but we'll figure it out later. So yeah, that's that little detailing up there that I think is really, really cool. And then if it looks a little slim on the sides, that's because there are a couple of panels on these sides that are going to be that reverse stockinette on the outside, and then it's got exposed seams. And I just think it's so cool. So I've got that panel, this panel, and then I have started on the first sleeve. So I've made a ton of progress on that, which I'm really impressed with because it's on mostly size 4 needles, or US 4, so it's taken a little longer, but I think it'll be really cool. It's not the most interesting project I've ever done, just because it's pretty much all stockinette or reverse stockinette, which is worked as stockinette, and so yeah, there aren't really like, there's not a ton of cabling and there's not a bunch of lace work. It's not that kind of project, but I do think it'll be really cool, and I think that Joe will look really nice in it. So I have one more whip to show you. Oh my gosh, it is hot in this room, and I don't know why it wasn't that warm outside today. I think I'm just probably moving around a lot. But anyway, my last whip is another shawl from Knit Crate, and this is the one that I unboxed in my last unboxing, I guess. So this is in the Sugar Bush Chill 100% Extra Fine Merino in Mounty Mango, in the colorway Mounty Mango, and it is ginormous yarn, super bulky, and you're not going to be able to see much of this pattern. I don't remember what it's called. Avantage. There we go. It's Avantage, and I can't remember the designer offhand, but yeah, I'm about this far, so not very far at all. And I'm not sure that I did this pointy part right, but I think it'll be okay. And then there's some cabling here, some reverse stockinette in the center, and then it goes into regular stockinette here. And I'm pretty sure that this is another one of those projects that's going to work up really, really quickly. But I did want to really put most of my effort towards Joe's sweater, so I had to play with it the night that I got it. And yeah, when I was, okay, I have to go on a little tangent. So when I started that, we also had my parents over because Joe got one of those Oculus Rift virtual reality game things. I don't know exactly what the name is, it's just the VR for us. And so we had my parents over for pizza and we had wine and, you know, that whole thing. So I didn't really put all my brain power to that one shawl, so that's why it's, you know, not very far. I was kind of playing some games, watching other people play, eating, having fun, you know, that whole thing. So yeah, it was so much fun though. Loved it. And it's a weird thing because there are a couple games. So like there's one that's a Disney one, and I know I've seen the video on Facebook where it's like a 360 Lumiere's dress rehearsal sort of thing from Beauty and the Beast. And for the VR, you're actually like in the castle, in the dining room, and it's like a search and find sort of thing. So you're grabbing different things, and I don't know, it's really cool. But then there's another one that's a Batman game, and oh my goodness, I tried to play that, and it was freaky because when you're playing this, the people feel like they are the same size as you or taller, and that gets really intimidating really quickly, or at least it did to me. And there were a few points where you're like in an elevator or doing different things, and I had to remind myself so many times. It's like, okay, I'm in my kitchen, I'm on the floor in my kitchen, I can hear my cat, I can hear my daughter, nothing is going to happen to me, but it still was so intense that I couldn't get out of that mind space, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it, but it was very immersive, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I think I might stick with more of the cartoony sort of games, which there aren't a ton of, but there are some. So yeah, I'll probably stick to those. And yeah, it is fun though. I really like it. So let's switch gears here and talk about future projects. So since the beginning, I've been talking about doing the Andrea Mowry's Boho Blush shawl, and I've ordered the yarn for it. It is coming sometime this week, I think. And so I'm going to be starting that, and I'm very excited. And yeah, I guess I don't really have a whole lot else to say about that because you guys know exactly what that looks like. I've told you what yarn I'm getting, and so now it's just a matter of casting it on and doing it. And then I'm actually going to kind of switch gears here a little bit. Not that I'm going to stop knitting by any means, but I do want to do a little bit more sewing, which is not my forte, but like I said, I want to kind of get into that as well with the whole capsule wardrobe thing. And so I've got a couple patterns that I'm going to try. And the first one I have to show you is for Evelyn. It is so cute. It is a free pattern from somuchado.com. It's a blog, and it's a peplum top. I'm not sure how well you're gonna be able to see it, but there it is. Is that not so cute? Oh, I love it. It's this particular one is in a really light pink jersey knit, but I think I might, okay, I've got a couple ideas. First of all, I want to do one for Evelyn in a jersey knit so that it's comfortable and, you know, that whole thing. But I do also have a bunch of that faux leather from Hobby Lobby, and I'd been working on the Boxwood Avenue like tote bag, and I don't know, it's not as much fun for me as I thought it was going to be. The tassel is really fun, but as far as the rest of the bag, I just lost interest in it, so I might use that to make Evelyn a top. Would that be weird for a 1-year-old to have a faux leather peplum top? Maybe, but it might be kind of cute too. Maybe I'll just make it up and see what it looks like. If it's too risque, then I won't have her wear it. But as for right now, I don't really know what I would do with that. So yeah, I might just do that. I don't know why I ended up getting that fabric, but anyway, then I have a dress that I wanted to make for myself. And I had planned on wearing this to that wedding that I talked about in October, but we were looking into it a little bit more, and I don't know that we'll be able to go to it. It's really far away for us. I mean, we're in Minnesota and the wedding is in North Dakota, which sometimes is only like an hour and a half, but this one is a lot further than that, so we might not be able to make it, but I think I might still make this dress up. So this is McCall's M7464, and this is what it looks like. I really, really want to do one that's very, very similar to this, like as close to this one as I can get would be awesome, and then I can add a cardigan if I want, or just do it sleeveless. I think that's one that you could definitely dress up or down depending on what you're going for. So yeah, that is my other sewing pattern for this next season. I don't know if I'll actually get to work on this within the next podcast allotment time, within the next 2 weeks, I guess. But it is definitely one that I want to do. So yeah. So there's one more kind of craft related thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I had thought about just kind of keeping it under wraps and not talking about it until I felt comfortable with it. But you know, I kind of also thought, oh, you might be interested in seeing my journey as far as this goes. So I purchased a drop spindle, and it's not here yet. I got it from the Woolery in Kentucky, and so they're shipping it. But yeah, so I'm going to try and figure out how to spin using a drop spindle, and we're gonna see how that goes. We have a little, or we still have it. I don't know what I was saying. Okay, so we have one at the museum that it's just a toy kind of thing. It's on display for people to kind of play with, and then we've got some for sale. And so I was playing with this little toy one, trying to figure out how it worked, and I just couldn't get it to work, and I was watching other videos, and it just doesn't, I mean, it's a toy. It's not meant to be like a functional sort of thing. It's just supposed to entertain a kid for a little while. So yeah, I didn't really get very far on that, but it really did pique my interest in the whole spinning field. So I'm going to try to do something like that and see how it goes. Maybe someday I could spin my own yarn and dye it and knit something with it. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of my next project. Yeah, I've got that coming on Wednesday, and then I've got some roving coming later than that, but I don't remember when that's supposed to get here. So yeah, that's pretty much everything as far as what I've got going on in my craft life. Like I said last time, I think that it'll kind of slow down a little bit, but you know, that's what I said last time, so you never know what's gonna happen over here. Is there anything else I wanted to talk to you about? Oh, okay, this is just like a family sort of thing. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen this, but our just over 6-month-old is not only crawling, like legitimately on her hands and knees crawling, she is also pulling up on furniture, and I'm really nervous that she's going to be starting to walk soon. And I'm sure that that sounds so weird, like, oh, but you're a parent, don't you want your kid to walk earlier? No, not really. She's just, I don't know, she is growing up so quickly, and I'm not really the biggest fan on it. I don't want to like try and slow her down by any means. I mean, if she wants to walk, she's gonna walk. But with the whole marathon thing, in January, we're all going down to Florida, and we're gonna be flying down there. We're gonna spend some days in Disney World. And having a walking child that doesn't really know what's going on is a little intimidating. I have flown with Evelyn already. We went to Nashville in April. We went in April, and that was fine. It was just the two of us. Joe had to stay home and work, and it went great. I mean, she had one little meltdown, and that was it. So yeah, we had 2 different legs, and it was, yeah. I don't know that I'm describing that well. So we drove over to Fargo, and then we flew from Fargo to Minneapolis, and then we went from Minneapolis to Nashville. And so we had a layover, and that was when she had her little mini meltdown, but it was right during nap time. And so that was where it kind of got a little hairy, but other than that, like on the flights, she fell asleep and did great the rest of the time. So now that she's a little bit more aware, I'm a little bit more nervous, but she will also be a little bit older, so it might be okay. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, hopefully I'll be able to vlog some of that and you guys will see what she's been doing. But yeah, she's been great. She's so much fun to just hang out with, and her smiles are so hammy, and yeah, love it. Anyway, yeah, I think that that's everything for today. I know that these podcasts aren't really very long. Most of the podcasts that I watch are typically around an hour, and mine tend to be about half an hour, but I feel like I talk quickly and I don't have as much to say. So who knows, maybe someday they'll be longer if that's something you're interested in, or if you guys like the half an hour time frame, then certainly just let me know. But as for right now, I think I'm going to get going. I'm getting a little hungry. It's about dinner time, so I'm gonna heat up some meatloaf and some potatoes, and I think we're gonna have some of that for dinner. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, certainly give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more. If you want, you can hit that little bell down there and get notified for every time that I post a video, but it's certainly not necessary, just something you can do if you'd like. So yeah, I'm gonna get going and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!